The first one says, can we date? No. Sorry about that. Not dating right now. Alright. Hey Fruit Bats, welcome back to my channel, or if you're brand new here, hello. My name is Victoria and I'm a beauty, fashion, lifestyle vlogger, and I'm also a working makeup artist. In today's video, we're bringing it back old school. If you've been here for a long time, you might remember these kind of videos because it's been about a year since I've done one. This is just a Q&A. It's not groundbreaking. It's not all that exciting, but it is something that I do kind of miss doing because I feel like I really get to connect with you guys through them, and I know so many of you guys are like very big fans of my Q&A videos. So I wanted to do one. I was just in the mood. You have to be in a very specific kind of mood to film a Q&A, I have found anyway. So we are going to do one right here, right now. I asked for you guys' questions on Instagram, so go follow me on there for future Q&As. It's just the fastest way to get responses, so that's why we're over there today. Ansley Ann, I think that's how you say your name, girl. I don't know. Correct me if it's not. Asked, is there a foundation sequence or products that you would recommend for a wedding makeup in Mexico, aka hot and humid AF? Yes, it is very hot and humid down there. I will cautious you to say that less is more makeup. I would do something very light coverage, something that's just going to even out your skin. I would not try to do a full coverage foundation in Mexico. Oh my god. When I was in Mexico, the like 2 times I wore makeup, it melted right off my face because it's just too hot and the humidity just eats your makeup off your face. So I would go with waterproof items, and then I would do a foundation or even a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream or something, or a skin tint, a skin serum tint, something like that, that will really just be able to work into the skin and will sit as nicely as it can. Also, like a cream product, like doing a cream blush versus like a powder blush, I would probably do, just because it will sit a little bit thinner on the skin, versus trying to put a bunch of powder on the skin, because that humidity just like eats holes in your powder. So I would, you know, I would maybe like try to do your makeup a couple of times, or whoever's going to do your makeup, and then to test it, I would go into your bathroom, turn the shower on very high hot water, and shut the door and chill out in there for a little bit and see what your makeup does. That's kind of a really good way to simulate what is going to happen with the humidity with your makeup. That's something that I do. You know, if I have to test for humidity wear, that's what I've always done. Brianna J52 asked, you have been looking so healthy and amazing. What have you been doing to lose weight? P.S. I love your videos. Been a follower for a really long time. That could be a whole video in its own, and that's one that I like have been begged to do for a really long time, and it's just one that has never felt, honestly, it's just never felt right to do, mainly because I can just imagine the comments that are going to be on that video, and it's not going to be from you guys, which is my audience, who is the people that I should always focus on. It's going to be from people who are just going to be awful and nasty and discouraging, not to me, but to you guys, and I just don't want that. But it has been something that's been asked for me to discuss heavily in the last year especially, and so if that's something you guys truly want to see a video on, let me know. Like, physically type a comment in the comments and say, hi, my name is this and I would like to see a video on this, and like, fuck it, like maybe I'll do it, I don't know. That's like, and also like that's really like a loaded question for me, because I didn't set out really to like lose weight, and here I am, I've lost almost 100 pounds from last, you know, from my heaviest weight, and that kind of started like last year. So I've from the heaviest I've ever weighed in my entire life, I've almost lost 100 pounds, and I've gained a lot of muscle. And yes, I'm still fat. I can still sit here and say I've lost 100 pounds and still be fat. So for anybody else who's getting ready to unload in the comments, let me just go ahead and stop you right there, sweetheart. Because I know, like, I don't get it, you know? Like, I am really proud of myself and who I am, and my changes that I made to my lifestyle, losing weight wasn't even on the table. It was a side effect of what I did and how I changed my life. The goals that I had, yes, I've also accomplished those, but those were the things that I, like, gave a shit about, and the losing weight just happened. So I would be willing to do a video on that and approach that subject, but you guys have to come into it with a blank slate in your mind too. I need you guys to step into it and be like, okay, like, this, she's gonna tell us some things, but, like, you're gonna have to, like, take her at her face value, take her at her word. I didn't lose weight because I hated myself. I didn't lose weight because I, you know, am deeply very insecure. I lost weight because I decided to stop eating meat, and I went to the gym, started going to the gym 1 extra time a week. So I went from exercising like 2 times a week to 3 to 4. That's really all I did. There's no secrets. There's no weight loss surgeries. Trust me, I've read all of the fucking theories that you guys have on how I've lost weight. There's no secret to losing weight. It's balance in your lifestyle. That's really all it is. So if you guys want to see that, let me know and I'll do a whole video on it. And if not, you can privately message me on Instagram and we can chat about it one-on-one. Tessa Janae 09 asked, what are you getting your second degree in and how is school going? I am currently back in school, finishing my pre-nursing requisites, and then hopefully I will be able to apply for nursing school next fall, and I'm going to school for nursing. School's going well. I have all A's right now, which is a fucking miracle, because my classes are really hard and I'm in a lot of science classes, and it's been a long time since I've done any science. In my previous degree, we did not do science, okay? So it's going well, but I have to stay on top of it, and you know, that's why some weeks you see 3 videos from me and some weeks you see 0, because I just have to make the best choices with the time that I am given. So it's going well. Better than the first one. Can you imagine? Better than the first one. I can't imagine. Danielle _ Farrell 95 asked, do you have any advice for people looking to change life paths later in the game? Oh, just do it. Honestly, like, you're gonna waste so much time standing still that you're going to not have any options later. Like, just do it. Like, when I decided to go back to school, I, like, you know, made a deal with myself. I was like, you're gonna go back and it's gonna be different this time, but you're gonna do it, like, and you're just going to do it because this is what is going to fulfill your life. And what you're currently doing is not giving you any fulfillment. And you need this. And I was just like, bet. Like, let's jump into it. That means, like, I'm not going to start my, like, you know, this next career until I'm almost 30 years old. And I just have to, like, know that that's, like, what's right for me. Anytime I stop and, like, will compare myself to other people or other people's positions in their life, that's very bad for my mental health, and it causes a lot of problems. So I don't even let myself do that anymore. And I think we'd all be a lot happier if we stopped comparing ourselves to each other. The life path that I'm on is not the life path that this person over here is on, and it's not the life path that my cousin took, okay? But it's the one that I'm on, and it's the right one for me. And I really hate that whole, like, mentality that, like, you have to do this by this age, you have to do this by this age, you have to do this by this age, otherwise you're garbage. Well, guess what? I know a lot of people who have followed that philosophy in life, and they are some of the most miserable, unhappy, unfulfilled people that I know. And it makes me hurt for them, you guys. It makes me really sad for them, because they just went through life with this attitude that, like, I have to do this by this age or else I'm garbage. And I don't believe in that at all. Like, and what makes me successful and happy and fulfilled in my eyes is probably very different in your eyes, and that's okay. You know, if the only way you're gonna feel fulfilled in your life is if, like, you're married with kids by the time you're 25, do it. Like, if that's for you, then that's for you. But that's not for her over there, that's not for him, and that's not for me. So just go about life at your own pace. Nightly Sonata asked, if we had a proper colony on Mars or some other planet and you'd be invited to go, would you? And would you choose to live forever? If you could, would you want to? I mean, if we could colonize Mars, I don't know. That's like, I don't know. Like, what are the circumstances? Is the Earth dying? Like, have we ruined this planet so much that we have to get off of it to survive? If that's the case, yes, I would go to survive. But other than that, no, I would stay here because I don't really want to be the person that has to, like, start from the bottom just to have, like, the bare minimum. Does that make me sound like the worst kind of person? It might. I don't know. And then also, if I could live forever, would I want to? No. I do not want to live forever. That doesn't mean that I, like, I don't know, mortality is hard to talk about, and it's not something I like to entertain the idea of, obviously, you know, when I'll die or in what circumstance, but if my other option is just to live forever, no, I think that'd be very lonely. And the last thing I would want is to see every last person on this earth I care about leave, and I'm stuck here, so no, I wouldn't want that. And that's coming from a non-religious person, so take that for what it's worth. Barbara Sarah Lopez asked, or said, you and Blake are so funny together. How did you guys meet? How long have you guys been friends? We met in school, and we have been friends for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And thank you. He's like my brother, the brother I never wanted. That's Blake, and I love him dearly, and he's great. Heaven Sauda, S-A-U-D-A, Heaven Sauda asked, what is it like being a YouTuber? By the way, I love your channel. Thank you for your support. What's it like being a YouTuber? I don't know. It's really like, I think a lot of people work it up to be something like big and extravagant and like, classified. Like, it's like not something everyone can do. This is a public platform. Anybody can do this. You just have to have like the want, the desire to do it. If I was starting YouTube right now at this stage in life, I probably wouldn't have the push or the willpower to do it because YouTube's so fucked up, honestly. But when I started, it was something that was cool and community building and something that everyone could succeed at. And then, you know, when Google bought YouTube. But yeah, it's cool. It's kind of lonely. It's kind of lonely if you let it be. Like, if I have a filming day, a day where I can, like, film, it is pretty lonely because I'm just down here in my office, like, filming videos for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And then I feel like I've had, like, all these, like, emotional connections and conversations with people, but they don't come until, like, when I edit the videos. And so it's kind of, in that sense, it is kind of weird. I much prefer filming with my friends or my family. When it's just one-on-one by yourself, it can be a little bit like, why am I doing this again? But it is cool, and it brings lots of opportunities, and it's given me a platform to discuss things that are hard to discuss, and it's given me a way to discuss those things with people from all across the world, which is really cool. I've made some lifelong good friends on here, which I am very thankful for, and it's brought me so many amazing, unspeakable opportunities that have been such fundamental things in shaping my life that I'm just blown away that I've had those chances, and all because a few people on the internet took interest in what I have to say. So it's pretty cool. but it can be lonely sometimes. But I'm very thankful for it. And also, I'm happy I get to be here. Even though I'm just sitting in my office right now talking to myself. It is still cool. Lacey Dowdle asked, a little dark, but I know you're into it and you wanted to be intellectual. I did say that, girl. So let's see. If you could rewrite history and stop or prevent the birth of someone who has a negative effect on history, who would you pick and why? What outcome would you foresee happening if they weren't in the equation anymore? Oh, God. That's a tough one. Like, how do you pick that? Like, do you pick the person who's caused the single most harm in all of time? Or do you pick someone who you personally have a problem with? How do you measure that? I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't really like these kind of games where you play God. That's really not my thing. And we get into this all the time in my bioethics class. And I don't really like taking that kind of responsibility into my hands. It's just not something I like. I suppose the correct answer would be Hitler. Obviously, for so many obvious reasons. But if it weren't him, it would have been someone else. That, like, root evil, you know, in the world is always there. So just because it wasn't the person who's famous for it, it would have been someone else. Because that's human nature. So, I don't know. Prevent the birth of somebody who has had a negative effect on history. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question other than just to take the easy way out and say Hitler, because obviously. That was a great question. I would be interested to hear your guys' thoughts, as that is something that I'm just like a little bit too not sure of to answer. What would you pick and why? Let me know in a comment down below. Postmortem_girl asked 3 things that you're extremely proud of. I'm extremely proud of my family and my friends, and everything that they do every single day. I'm very, very proud of my work ethic. I think I have a pretty strong work ethic, and I get shit done, which I'm really proud of, even if it nearly kills me. And I am very proud of I don't know, all these kids in Florida that are going to make a goddamn difference in the world. I'm really proud of them, and I don't want to get too political for once in my life in this video, but they're going to change the fucking world, and I'm so proud that I get to watch it, and if there's anything I can do to be a part of it, I'm proud of that too. S. Kirkpatrick asked, hey girl, when you become a nurse, do you have a certain specialty in mind? I'm trying really hard to go into nursing school very open-minded, because I don't want to, like, close doors before I have a chance to, like, even look inside of them. So I'm going in pretty open-minded. If I had to guess, just because I know myself, I would say I would really enjoy the ER, because it's so fast-paced, and you don't have a lot of time to, like, connect with people, which sounds crazy, but, you know, just in case, like, you know, something uncontrollable, unforeseeable happens, you don't, like, whereas, like, if you're an ICU nurse, and I know this from, like, all the health problems that my Nana had last year, like, you get really emotionally connected to the families, to the patients, to the situation, and when we were in the hospital, when Nana was in ICU, somebody next door passed, and one of Nana's nurses was one of, like, this, you know, this person's nurse as well, and she had been with this person for over 3 months, and that would just be incredibly hard. not to say like not also very fulfilling, but if it's ER, it's more fast paced and it's more like, let me do as much good as I can do right now in this situation and then on to the next one. And I think that that's kind of where I would like to start at least, but who knows, like I have no idea. You Do You Boo asked, I know you have several jobs in addition to being in school. How did you work, school, and personal life balance? I'm a scheduler. I micromanage myself like you wouldn't believe. If I have a free 45 minutes, my laptop is out and I'm working on something. Okay? If I have any sort of free time that is like before 10 p.m., I'm working on something. And that is just the truth. I also am very on top of my schoolwork. I'm just one of those people that, like, if you give me an assignment and it's due in 3 weeks, I'm going to do it the first 2 days that you give it to me. I'm not going to do it the night before. I've never been that person, so I'm not, like, surprised that I'm not that person now, because I've just never been that student. Social life balance, I always give myself a night every week that I can have with my friends, and I'll be like, we need to go out to dinner tonight. Like, we need to do something. And that's, like, really important to me. Especially like now, it's really important that I get that like social interaction, and I don't let that part of myself go, because it just makes me sad, it makes me miserable, it makes me like unmotivated to work, even if it's just like Blake and I, we work on stuff together like twice a week, or we'll go have lunch, or I'll drag him to the fucking plant store to pick out a tree, which I did recently. He hated it. But I just, like, I don't let that part of myself go. And then also this time around, it is better because I am not drinking obsessive, like, huge amounts of Red Bull, which I was doing before when I was in art school to try to stay up as long as I could. And I'm also not taking Adderall to cheat sleep anymore, which was one of the biggest things that I made myself promise myself. I was like, you're not doing that. You're not doing that ever again. Because it just like fucked my sleeping cycle up so beyond like repair. And I didn't even know how bad it was until after I had graduated. So I work really, really hard during all points of my day, and then I try to sleep 11 p.m. until like at least 7, 8 a.m. if I can, or midnight to 8 a.m. if I can. I really try to force myself to get 7 hours of sleep at least every night, because I'm just not the girl I was before. I have to sleep now. So I just micromanage my time. Really annoyingly, actually. Keist Adorably asked, where's your favorite place to eat in Wichita, preferably not downtown? Pretty much everywhere I like to eat is downtown. Mediterranean Grill is really good. I like local places. I'm not big into like chain restaurants usually. I don't fucks with them. Sometimes, you know, the girl does love the Olive Garden every once in a while, but usually I like to give my money to like local business owners. That's very important to me. So Mediterranean Grill is really good. District Taqueria, one of my absolute favorite places. Lotus Leaf, another favorite place. Lemongrass, love it. Hana Cafe. Where else? Those have all been downtown except for Mediterranean Grill. Reverie Coffee Roasters and Neater's Bakery, love them, also downtown, cool. Kind Cravings Food Truck, they're an all vegan food truck, they're incredible. Dempsey's, they're not necessarily downtown, they're really good. And let's do one more. Is there not one place on the east side? Oh, Gangnam, also downtown, but they do have an east side location. Gangnam Korean Barbecue, love it. So, yes, those are several. There's more, but those are several of my favorites. Passion Fruit _ Bates asked, will we ever see any Victoria merch? I'd honestly wear anything you designed. stay tuned. I've been approached by lots of different companies that are like, let's make your merch, and it's just always been very inorganic. I'm a very controlling person. I have to have my finger in everything. I can't have somebody hold up 2 products and say, okay, which one of these do you like? If I'm not absolutely fucking stunned by either one of these, it'd be a no. But a lot of times when you have a third-party vendor making your merch, you don't get those kind of decisions and input. They're like, well, we're going to slap your name on one of them, so which one is it? And that's just not me. That's not something that's nothing I stand for. But I have been talking to a couple of my friends, a couple of my art friends, my designer friends, and there are a couple things that I really want to do and a couple of statements that I want to make. So we'll see. Beard isn't on it. We're gonna see where this goes. But yeah, I just could never put something out for sale that wasn't absolutely 100% everything I'd ever wanted and more, because that's just not how I roll. And I know that's how a lot of people do it and whatever, but I'm also a control freak, and it has to be 100% the way that I want it 100% of the time, and nobody works with somebody like that. So that means I just have to do it myself, which is fine, but we got to figure some things out. Stay tuned. Okay, I have somebody who asked for me not to mention their name, so they DM'd me, so we're gonna answer this question. She said, hey, I hate commenting publicly. I have a question. Okay, as an educated woman, do you struggle with people assuming you're less intelligent before they've properly spoken to you because you wear makeup? I'm studying politics in the UK and find that a lot of my lecturers are more likely to ask a girl with no makeup a question rather than me. Just a random thing I thought we could talk about as a makeup artist and as an academic woman. Yes, I do find that. I find that kind of, unfortunately, a fucking lot. Not necessarily in my field, like in my creative fields that I work in my makeup fields that I work in, no. People aren't necessarily surprised to find that I am, you know, an educated woman. But if somebody, like, for example, if you're talking to a guy and they're like, oh, what do you do? And I'll be like, oh, you know, I'm a designer and I'm a makeup artist. Then I have felt, you know, and experienced that switch where they're like, oh, that's cute. Or they'll, like, you know, act like I don't have a fucking college education. And even college education aside, you can wear makeup and be a woman and not have a college education and still be extremely fucking intelligent. So, yeah, I do experience that, and it drives me insane. And I just embarrass them, don't I? I do something, or I say something that they obviously don't know how to answer or respond to, just to tell them to fuck themselves, because it frustrates me so much. And I don't know, it really does frustrate me. I had a professor from my art program that treated me very poorly and treated me like I was a fucking idiot because I wore makeup. And as another woman, because it was a woman professor, that was so hurtful and so unnecessary and so just attacky. Was awful. It was really, really, really awful. She really did think I was a lesser person because of my appearance, and that was just, wow. Like, as an educated woman to a woman trying to get her education, that was so hurtful. That was like the worst. Really, it really was. Ooh, thick chicks do it too. Asked me several, so let's see what we have here. What's one of your favorite smells? The smell of Dr. Pepper, or the smell of when you freshly open a bag of Wild Berry Gummy Lifesavers. That smell that's inside of the bag is just happiness to me. Oh, I can smell it right now. If they would just make a Wild Berry Gummy Lifesaver perfume, I would finally be complete in my life. It's my favorite smell in the entire world. Seriously, if you've never if you've never experienced that, go to the store, buy a bag of wild berry gummy lifesavers. They don't sell them everywhere, okay? They don't sell them everywhere, so you might have to look, you might have to order. Just rip it open and stick your whole face inside of the bag, and that smell is, I'm hoping, the last smell that I smell before I die. It's my favorite. And then also the smell of Dr. Pepper. I literally use the Dr. Pepper chapstick and rub it on my skin sometimes. Like, not my lips. So I can smell like Dr. Pepper. And people are like, ooh, did you just drink Dr. Pepper? And I'm like, no. Alright, you guys, that's everything I have in me for questions today. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. I tend to do my Q&A, my asking for questions on the Instagram. So if you're interested in getting in on this, hit up my gram, you guys. It's really fun. You get to see me every day. It's like vlogging every day, only not. Alright, to everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all that stuff. Don't forget to answer that question that I asked you guys to answer. I'll pop it on the screen right here for you so you can answer it in a comment down below. And also, let me know what you guys want to see next. I'm really enjoying being very present in social media right here, right now, right this minute. So hopefully that sticks. I'm feeling very motivated to continue on. Sometimes it wears on you, and you really have to go into that place inside of you that made you do this for the first time, and you have to ask yourself, like, is this what you fucking want? And it is. So stay tuned. Stay supportive. I really appreciate it. Alright, I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.